Now, briefly, what was it that you discovered that you were trying to report?
Oh, well, I really talked about a whole lot of stuff, but basically I was talking about um, that my travels and where I went to, which was specifically in Guinea and the border area of Guinea and Sierra Leone. I talked about what I saw and didn't see. For example, I mentioned that during my travels, I did not see or encounter any other medical personnel. It is false. I did see one thing, at least one report in the news media saying that I attempted to make contact with other organizations there, and I couldn't, or they wouldn't accept me, and that's totally false. I never did that. I never tried. I never attempted. The only thing I could say is if I had come across some of them, I would have spoken with them, talked to them, offered see what if I could offer to do anything for them, but I never did in my travels.
So that,
For an entire month.
in your opinion, then, that the media was being dishonest when they said that you were shopping around for a doctor job over there in Africa?
That's totally correct.
Because that's the picture that they portrayed to the public. Is
I
that?
went over there to, like I said, I went over there because I was hearing a lot of misinformation. The CDC, what I was hearing them say, and what I was hearing the WHO say, and I'm saying these guys are getting it wrong, are getting things wrong. They're off course. They're behind. They need to get caught up what the real situation is. And I said I'm going to go there and report firsthand so that it would be more credible.
Now, did
people.
you stated that you didn't see any other medical professionals over there? Now, here in America, we're in the understanding that there's Ebola everywhere over there, and there's medical staff and tents and stuff set up all over Africa treating Ebola patients. Are you saying that you didn't see any of that in your travels in Africa?
Yeah, because the situation is not exactly as you described it. Ebola is not all over let's say West Africa. It's not all over Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. It is there, but it's not everywhere. In fact, before I came back, the capital city, Conakry, in Guinea, declared that that whole city, which is a very expansive city, had no Ebola. Conakry was Ebola free.
It's interesting. I'm sorry to cut you off again. It's interesting that you say that because I've spoke with another man from Guinea who said that when he left there just a few months ago, that he didn't know of any cases of Ebola and he hadn't seen any Ebola either. Are you saying?
What I'm saying, the entire time that I was in West Africa, I did not, let's say, come into contact with or with any Ebola patients in Guinea.
Okay. So I guess where I'm leading to is, the reports that we get in America and all over the news is that they got people dying in the streets and they got tents and stuff set up that are supposed to be quarantine stations. These tents.
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
Are these a real thing? I mean, is there anything that you saw out there?
I didn't see any while I was there, but I've seen them shown on TV news where they've set up the quarantine hospitals, and supposedly inside and you see a few people walking around in the suits, and back there somewhere is a hospital ward full of Ebola patients who were dying. I didn't see any of that. In fact, I visited one small rural border of Guinea, Sierra Leone, and it was empty except for a woman who just had a baby and a gentleman who wasn't feeling well. And I asked, how come there's nobody, where are the patients, where are the sick people? And they said, they haven't been coming. They don't come to the hospital anymore because of the Ebola, because they're afraid that the people there, and I mentioned this, that the people they fear the government and they fear Western medicine. And they think that, that the Ebola, there's different people think different things. They think that the Ebola epidemic isn't real. They think that the West is trying to kill them off in some sort of genocide to infect them. Other people think that Ebola isn't as bad as what they're making it out to be, and that people are dying from other causes. Not, when we hear that, for example, that 1,000 people have died from Ebola or 2,000 people have died, a lot of them were saying they didn't all die from Ebola. They died from other diseases that are there that are just as bad, like malaria.